What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, and today I'm going to be going over this Monstrum Tactical 1:6 first focal plane rifle scope. Alright, so let's get right into it. It should be a good one. So, like I said before the intro rolled, we are going to be going over this Monstrum Tactical first focal plane rifle scope. So, just before anything, I'd like to get it out there that Monstrum did send this out to me, and I really do appreciate it. I love testing optics, and there's a lot of buzz around Monstrum, especially because of the price range that all this stuff happens to come in at, and they were kind enough to send it out and let me do a review on, and so far my relationship with them has just been that. They haven't asked me for anything. So yeah. Alright, so let's begin by talking a little bit about the Optic. We'll go over price point and general stuff, and then I'll tell you kind of how it's performed for me so far, some of the testing I've done on it, and just my overall thoughts of the glass itself. So I guess we can start by talking about price point. So the price point comes in $200. $200 for a low power variable optic. This first focal plane is an incredible buy in itself. First focal plane optics usually run a lot, and low power variables usually run a lot. It's just the nature of the beast, and so finding one for $200 is a pretty decent deal. And this is their G3 series. They have a bunch of different ones. They have the G2 and the G1, which are significantly less, but the G3 series is their newest line, and that's this one right here. This is a 1:6 by 24. So I do like the 6. The 6 is probably my favorite between the 4 and the 8. I don't know if Monstrum has a 8, but I do have some 8s, and 6 is probably my favorite. It's just enough. Scope ends up still coming in pretty light. So definitely like that. Alright, in terms of the optic itself, you have your magnifier, which is pretty nice. It's very smooth, and there's not a lot of force behind it. Then you have your turrets. So each of these turrets are adjustable, or are exposed, and they pop up to be adjusted and then pop back down to lock them. And then on the opposite side of the optic, you have your illumination. So the reticle is illuminated. It is a red illumination and is very bright. You know it's on. In terms of the reticle, I will pop it up here. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of like an odd reticle, in my opinion. You've kind of got like you've got the circle, and then you've got the dot, and there's a little dot, and then the other dots on the side, which are your windages and everything. Not my overall favorite reticle, but it's decent. You can definitely pick up your targets with it. On your lowest magnification, it is kind of hard to see if you don't have, so on the 1 magnification, if you don't have your illumination on, it kind of can be a little difficult to see. But that's the nature of the first focal plane. When you have your first focal plane, your lower power, your reticle can be pretty small, and it's something to be aware of. And obviously as you zoom it in, your reticle gets larger, and that can also be a bad thing, which I don't think this has that problem. I don't think the reticle gets too big by any means. I think the reticle does just fine, but I think it can be a little small on your first power. So that's kind of everything about the optic, besides the fact it is anodized black, and it is aircraft grade aluminum, and it's weatherproof. In terms of how the optic actually performed, which is probably why you're here, to wonder whether or not $200 first focal plane optic performed well. It did. So I've ran this on 2 different guns. I ran it on my Diamondback, and I've also ran it here on this reticle. Both 5.56, so I didn't beat the living crap out of it. I ran their other G series on a 6.5 Creedmoor, and it held up just fine. But the first focal plane, I kind of figured it was more of a AR-15 style rifle, so I didn't really think 308 6.5 Creedmoor when I thought of this optic, but I guess it could be used for that. But in terms of the 5.56, it did fine. It didn't knock it off any. It was able to zero really easily, and that's one thing I've noticed about Monstrum product, or at least the two that I have. They both zero very well. They track fantastic. I don't know about other people, but that's been one thing I really like about these optics and the experience I've had with them. But like I said, both on tested it on this 18-inch 223 Wild from Reticle, and then also tested it on the 5.56 from Diamondback, and both performed very well. I was very happy with it. I was able to connect with 200-yard shots on both. Did a little quick shooting here and there, and just had some fun. I don't know if I have any footage actually of the Reticle, but I did have a good time with it. So, in terms of whether or not I think this optic is worth it, I would definitely say it's worth it. I mean, I don't have a problem. I haven't had a problem with it at all. I've had it for a while now, and I've shot it a ton, and it's been a good budget, low-powered variable optic. If you're looking for something that won't break the bank, that you want to get into the LPVO market, this is definitely a good place to start. I don't know any company that's offering an optic like this at this price. Not even like Primary Arms. They're usually like the go-to people, and they're not even offering an optic at this price. So definitely go check out the Monstrum Tactical G3 1-6-24. Link will be in the description down below if you want to go pick it up. I think that one links directly to Monstrum, so it'll take you to the optic, and if it's sold out, you can always just go to Amazon. They're always all over the place. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, that when you buy the optic, it does come with flip up, and it comes with a mount. It doesn't come with this mount. This is a cantilever mount. This is also a Monstrum, but it does come with just your general scope rings, which is nice. It saves you from having to buy them later, which that can really suck. I always hate buying extra stuff. You spend $200 on a scope, you kind of want something to mount it with, but oh well. Yeah, so I hope you guys found the video somewhat useful. If you did, I would like it if you go hit that like and subscribe button. Both of those mean a ton to me, and both of them help the video out tremendously. Helps us boost up there in the search results, and helps get my information out there. Alright, and it allows me to keep making content for you guys. I try to be consistent with my reviews, and I try to be consistent with my content because I love doing it. Alright, so I think that about does it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. As always, take someone outdoors.